We're going to go talk some Cavs next.
Okay.
But NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's
Yeah.
what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum shift, and every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift, as a receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or a momentum flips after a turnover. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, so can you.
Remind me, guys, and gee, I know you'll be interested in this especially. I don't know if Tyvis plays. Remind me, I got to talk about Spades, the game of Spades.
Okay.
You play Spades?
We're born with a card or deck in our cribs.
What is wrong with you?
What do you mean? What? Every black guy plays
Yes!
Spades? Every, without exception?
Yes.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
What?
I played Spades my whole life.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a black thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
so
some
look,
cookout points for
believe
me.
you just said-
Cookout points for me.
that is cookout points because you look like a euchre guy.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not a
you.
euchre guy.
Listen,
I don't even
okay.
know how to play euchre.
It's a variation.
I love Spades, but I got to tell you a story about it.
I would have really
Tonk,
dapped you up.
Yeah. If I did what?
If you
Play
played
Tonk.
Tonk.
Oh, that game I don't know. I never heard of it. No, I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
Have you heard
gotta
of the
teach
Cavs
me
game
that.
last night, Bull?
What's that?
Have you heard of the
Sorry.
Cavs game last night?
Cavs. Now, personally, I don't care much about this win last night. Although I haven't, no, but I do. I'm glad we brought up the Cavs because I got something important to say about the Cavs. But I'll save it. What did you guys think? They beat a terrible team, but some of their players who've been terrible played well last night.
Sam Merrill came back.
It
Go
was
ahead.
refreshing just to see everybody contribute. Like
Yeah.
that was the thing. Like Sam Merrill came back, but
Yeah.
I don't even know if he had any points or not. That's irrelevant. We've been seeing Jalen Tyson be the second.
Although he did nothing.
He had 0 points.
Zero, which was
He had
weird.
0
He's
points.
been their best
You
player.
had Donovan give you
Besides
30.
Donovan.
You had DG
Yeah.
give you 27, who was 5 for 6 from Trey.
DeAndre Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter came
Best
back
game in
alive. I was
forever.
sitting there like, where this man been the whole
Yeah.
season? So it was nice to see just all of those guys starting to contribute again. And then I heard after the game they asked Darius, and he was like, "We're getting back to playing Cavaliers basketball." And it was like, great. Now,
I mean, not do it
do it
against a
again
real
against
team.
somebody. Yeah, like it was great to see it. Like so, it
Yeah.
tells me y'all it's there still. Like that's what I wanted. It's still
Yes.
there. It's still some chemistry there. Now, I don't know who
They're
they
playing
play
another
today.
terrible team tonight.
They play the Pelicans, I think.
Yeah, they're
tonight.
horrible, too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
go out there and just dominate. That 9.5 cover that.
Yeah. They didn't cover last night, by
I
the
know.
way. Yeah, go ahead.
Dion, listen, this is. I said this yesterday when we was talking about on the show with Jason and them. I said, listen, man, the way they're going to turn this around is they're going to need Donovan Mitchell to pull the ranks close. Because the reality of the situation is, like you said, there's no reason. Jalen Tyson was their second best player for a lot of this.
Yep.
And guys, they're only gonna go as far as the main dudes. And sometimes I know you want to be kumbaya and we want to preach that it's all about the postseason, but you got to build good habits and you got to get guys into the mentality that he needs to be a level of urgency. And the level of urgency needs to come because guys, this is the most expensive roster in the NBA. You look around, you got teams like the Boston Celtics, you got teams like the only team that you should be, talent-wise, that you should even be competing with like that in the East is the Knicks. And for you to play the way that you have tells me that you're not playing with a level of urgency. And sometimes in basketball, windows is a funny thing. Windows be manufactured, but them windows be year to year. I always go back and remember when the Oklahoma City Thunder lost to the Miami Heat in the mid 2010s. And
In the finals?
In the finals.
Yeah.
And on that team, they had Westbrook, Harden, Durant,
Serge
Ibaka, all in their prime. And we said, oh, this is about to be a juggernaut.
Yeah.
There's going to be a problem. And guess what? That was the highest they ever got.
Right. Until this new group.
Until this new group.
Yeah.
It's the highest they ever was.
Yeah.
So you don't never know when it's going to be your time. And this is an opportunity for the Cavs to do it. But they got to have some urgency. And hopefully getting guys back, believe it or not, I do think Max Strus and glue guys will help. But like we said, if you counting on Max Strus to be the reason you won a championship, that ain't it. You got to, the dogs got to carry you.
All right, let me say this, by the way, having nothing to do with last night. I'm glad they won. That's fine. But these rumblings about Kenny Atkinson getting fired, that's a joke.
Come on, man.
If they fire Kenny Atkinson, I will boycott the Cavs the rest of the regular season and not watch a game.
What I mean,
I don't understand where that even came
I don't
from.
even. Why is that even a thing?
I'm seeing rumblings. I saw some random Cavs blog or something say, well, here's if the Cavs fire Kenny Atkinson, they should hire this coach. What? I mean, I know it's the NBA. There's only a certain amount. This guy was the best coach in the league last year. Kenny Atkinson did an amazing job. The first half's been bad. You want to put some of the blame on him? Fine. Give him some of the blame. To fire him a half a season after a great I get it. The playoffs stunk. You can criticize him. To fire a guy after a year and a half as well as this team played last year would be asinine.
It's accountability. Like, listen, guys, it ain't about no coach.
No.
It ain't about no coach. You got 3 max players. Play like it.
Let's go. If you're going to fire anybody, you fire the GM.
You know, hey, he put the roster together.
Yes.
He put the roster together, the pieces, the parts.
Ran it back
3 times. like, come on, bro. Like, this is not what it is. And now we'll fire Kenny and try to pull some levers. No, Darius Garland, keep your man in front of you.
Yeah.
And then in crunch time, don't be running around dribbling, throwing the ball out of bounds. Yeah. Jared Allen, stop letting dudes bully you around and kick you around and look like you got some fire energy. Evan Mobley. Stop crying because they took the reins back from you because you didn't have the offensive game you thought you had.
Yeah.
If you ain't getting the rock up top dribbling, take yourself down low and get rebound and play better. Let's go. Like, stop all the games.
By the way, somebody sent me a tweet yesterday. I got to show you this picture.
Is it about Darius Garland getting
No,
traded to
it's
Sacramento?
about, because you know how I talk. Getting what?
That was the rumor that he might get traded to Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, I don't believe that.
I don't either.
I saw somebody sent me a picture, like, because you know how I always talk about I miss post play and old school basketball. And I said how, in a lot of ways, even though I don't really watch it, women's basketball is more like 80s, 90s NBA, like men's basketball. Mm-hmm. It's closer to it. And somebody sent me this video. There's this girl who plays for some school out in California. This girl, you got to see how
she dropped 41 the other
Yeah,
day?
you see what she looks like?
Yeah,
This girl?
I didn't see her.
She's a big woman.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's my kind of woman right there.
UCLA had a girl last year. She was like, I think she had to be like 6'7", 6'8", and it was a joke.
This girl is like,
it was a joke. I was like, y'all, nobody standing.
You know what's funny
against this woman?
Go ahead.
I was going to say real quick to bring it back to Kenny and the rumors circulating around from last night. You can kind of tell there is still a lack of effort. They played a lot better. They made the shots.
Yeah.
Even Dean Wade was hitting threes last night.
Yeah.
But down the stretch, they blew, I think, like a 22 lead.
Yeah, it was
down to 8,
and it ended up being
for
close.
the third team.
Closer, yeah.
They just kind of stopped giving effort.
They disappear at times. Yeah,
they should have done a lot better against that offense. Than,
I'm not
Charlotte was
overly
playing.
impressed.
Well, it's because y'all keep saying that the regular season's meaningless. I think that they realize, you got to think about it.
No, that's not an excuse.
No, listen. You got to think about this. The foundation was laid by J.B. Bickerstaff, and J.B. Bickerstaff was very hard on 82 games. Y'all got to play solid defense and play hard for 82 games. And by the time they got to the playoffs, injuries crept up, and they was disappointed. I think this is the first year, even last year, they had the record thing going. So they was so intense and locked in for that.
Well, they've had a ton of guys injured even without doing that this year.
True.
So.
And I just think this is the first year where it's like they kind of lackadaisical through it all.
Yeah.
Like you get to the 6th seed, all right. If they telling me they're gonna flip the switch and just to go playoff mode.
You buying that?
That's what they selling.
Ain't no such.
I'm not buying it.
That's what they selling.
Ain't no such thing as.
I don't know if I'm buying it, but they sure selling it.
Ain't no doggone switch. That's wild.
What they selling? Gee,
I get it.
You watch this team. That's not the vibe they selling us.
They've been telling us that, but I don't. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Sometimes you got to be honest with people. Listen, you guys aren't good enough to hit nobody's switch.
No.
You ain't
No.
Don't hit me with it's about 5 people in the history of life that can hit the switch. 6 of them been in the Bible. It's a couple of people. like
there's 5 people. There's 6 of them.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
MJ can't hit the switch?
We got a
LeBron
couple.
hit the switch.
We got a couple. Like a few that gets rarefied air.
Tom Brady.
Get a couple. Tom Brady can come back and hit the switch. Hey, listen, we even seen Phillip Rivers can't hit the switch.
And you know what? He played pretty well for 40. He did. I thought he played pretty well, considering.
I'm not buying a switch flip, but it is kind of interesting if you look at the season. It's completely flipped, right? They've been injured through the entire beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Sam Merrill comes back. We're looking forward to Max Strus coming back. And yes, we shouldn't bank everything on Max Strus. But it could be the inverse of a season. Everybody comes back by the time playoffs rolls around healthy, and they actually might have the energy to get through. Are they good enough to flip the switch? I don't know. I don't think so, and I don't think they're good enough.
That's
to
what
beat
they're
OKC.
selling
You
us.
can con
But they
yourself
could
into
still
whatever
be-
you want to believe there, Andrew.
It's a lot of people there's a lot of people that be lying to themselves because here's let me tell you.
Guys can get hurt again, by the way.
I don't think they can hit
They
the
can.
switch.
Oh, nothing. This ain't 6'4".
Donovan can hit the switch.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you got a couple people, and you see what happened. Like, you got to think
I don't know.
about it.
Donovan disappears in the playoffs. Last
If-
season.
No.
That's not
You
don't say that.
You don't have better talent or players like than Jokic or SGA. So you lose the talent matchup, right? You don't have the physical prowess of those teams either.
No.
So you lose that. You don't have the fact that they don't have ups and downs. They're consistent. They play the same way each and every game. You lose that. You don't got no problem where guys that you got on your team like Darius Garland just disappeared. You don't got that. And by the way, those teams play without guys like Williams most of the season, or you get guys that are big pieces and they still beat people by 20.
Yeah.
So you telling me that you gonna wake up and you don't have the talent, the physicality, the system, you gonna wake up and hit a switch and beat them?
No.
Nah.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of, you mentioned Jokic.
Now, what if they do it?
Yeah, you mentioned
I'll shake your
Jokic. I saw somebody posted this picture, and it was 9 NBA greats sitting at a table. Your boy Giannis was not in it. I'm sorry, but let it go. All right?
Let it go.
It was Kobe,
Oh, you gonna get busy.
Magic,
Okay.
Kareem. I got to remember this. Bird, MJ, LeBron, Duncan, Curry, and Tim Duncan.
You said
Good
job.
Duncan
I didn't
twice.
remember
You
all
said
that.
Duncan
You
twice.
just said Duncan twice. Did you put Jokic?
Jokic was standing by the table, and it said, "Who has to get up for Jokic?"
For Jokic?
Yeah.
You said Kobe,
This is a good conversation.
Magic,
Yeah.
Kareem,
Yes.
Mike, Bird, LeBron, Steph,
Durant.
That's what you didn't say.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan.
Yes. That's the 9.
Who's getting up for Jokic?
Yeah. I think I got to say Duncan.
Kevin Durant.
Wow. I love Duncan, but
Kevin Durant.
You know what y'all think I'm gonna say. You think I'm gonna say Larry Bird, but I ain't gonna do it.
nah.
I ain't gonna do.
Yeah.
You thought wrong.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I think it's Durant or Duncan, but I
Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan
is the
got
greatest.
4 rings.
He's the greatest power
I think he
forward
only
of all
lost
time.
one final, and that was
He's the
the
greatest.
one that was
yeah.
the Ray Allen
and
shot.
think about it. Tim Duncan was jousting with he faced the Heat.
right.
How many
faced-
rings Kevin Durant
He faced the
got?
Lakers
2 or
dynasty. Durant got 2.
2, yeah.
But he rode that he was a back passenger on that. Durant got to go.
Don't do that.
He got to go.
The first one, Durant led the charge.
But I'm just saying, if it's between Steph Curry and Durant, he's always gonna get kicked out because of Steph Curry.
That's true. Right.
So I got to take Durant out, and Jokic is in there. How many MVPs does Durant got? League MVPs? He got one.
But Kobe's only got 1, which is ridiculous.
But that's a whole nother thing. That we not going.
yeah, that's
Yeah, we
another
not.
level.
Yeah, that's
His
another.
level.
And when Kobe died, he went up 6. He
went up
He
more
went 10
levels.
points. You can't even mention Kobe's name on the
Yeah.
West Coast. Like
Final
that.
thing on this. Remember, I don't remember who was here. I mean, G, you were here, but I can't remember if you were here or not, Tyvis. But we were having a debate like, is Donovan Mitchell a tier 1 star or
We
a tier
did.
2?
We
Remember
did,
that?
yeah.
I
To
wasn't
me,
here for that. He's a tier 1.
to me, he's tier 2.
Really?
Because I have my tier 1 is only 4 players, and those are the guys who can flip the switch.
Jokic, SGA, Luka, Giannis.
That's it. to me. And Donovan's in that
The
second
crazy
group.
part is, not one American.
Not one American.
I think,
one American.
I'd say Jaylen Brown probably could because they kind of coached
Who?
it through. Jaylen Brown, right?
Jaylen Brown,
Celtics.
what?
Jalen Brunson or Jalen Brown?
Tier 2.
Jaylen Brown on the Celtics.
No.
Jalen Brown. He said, is he a tier 1? I say Jalen Brown.
Oh,
is
I thought you guys were just saying guys who we would think would flip the switch. I was reading something.
Oh,
no.
No,
we on the tier.
No, not even
close.
Jaylen Brown ain't flipping the switch.
No.
I mean, now, is
I retract my statement.
Got his mic on.
is a healthy Tatum in that top?
To me, he's not in that class.
A healthy
Tatum.
He didn't even win the MVP when
the
they
top
won
one?
their
No.
finals.
No. To me, those 4 guys stand alone to me. And Giannis, hate to say it, is he starting to trail out of that group?
Correct.
Oh, that's going to give Tyvus a headache right now.
Said
By the
Giannis
way,
is starting to
Tyvus,
trail
what
out.
am I watching? I
not
put on
playing.
either Instagram or Twitter. All of a sudden, I see a video of Tyvus with no shirt on doing something when you start. What is happening there?
Scoping.
What were you doing?
Scoping. So what it does is
Yeah.
it's like doing 20,000 sit-ups and 20,000 Russian twists.
Yeah.
And you sit there and they're like,
They just do it for you?
no, like it's a thing that do your muscles.
Yeah.
So like it's
Oh, it's like a
toning you up.
massage?
No, it ain't no massage.
Oh, so it's like
it ain't. It's like tightening it up real bad for like 4 seconds, then release it. It's a long 30. It's a long 30 minutes.
It's a workout?
It's essentially you doing an ab workout.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
how the hell
crazy.
did this end up on my
I woke up
timeline?
this morning a little sore actually.
What if you put that on your hips, bro? That'd be
You could
crazy.
do your
Yeah.
your abs, your arms, your butt, and your legs.
Your butt.
Hey, can you imagine? You'd be like, G. Bush, what you doing? Why your back pocket's moving?
I see on Instagram and all I see.
Your back pocket's moving up and down. Yeah, I'm just getting them glute work in, bro.
Yeah.